Hey, what's up, everyone? So it's a little later, and the sun is setting behind me. So it's a bit darker, this video, but I think we can get through it, and hopefully I can get this video done before the sun sets and it gets really dark here. I got a really good email, really good question. Well, actually, it was a comment on one of my videos, so let's see if I can find it. But a really good question. And if I can recall correctly, yeah, here it is. Can you please make a video on when to let go and when to try harder when it comes to chasing someone? For example, you're confused on whether to continue on and try harder or to just let the whole thing go and forget about it. Excellent question. Whenever I'm faced with a difficult dilemma or a difficult question, the first thing that comes to mind, and I have sort of conditioned myself with this through my journaling and my um, positive self thinking, I guess you would call it. But yeah, through my journaling, um, whenever I have like a difficult thing to decide or a difficult question, like this is not an easy question. I also experienced this issue myself. I come to balance. Balance is always the key. So to answer your question, okay, so what this person is asking, and I know exactly where you are, what you mean. It's like, do you keep trying? Like, like, do we keep doing like what we have seen in the movies? Like, oh, I'll never give up on you, and they'll go above and beyond, and they'll just do outrageous things. Like, how many movies have we seen where this guy will, kind of run into the middle of a baseball match, grab the microphone, and be like, I love you, Sarah, or whatever, and she'll kind of, I mean, it's a classic, right? Unfortunately, like, real life can be different, okay? Very different. And a big part of moving on, letting go, focusing on yourself, and if you're doing no contact, and one of the huge side effects of focusing on yourself, letting go, moving on, is that your ex usually comes after you, or people will be more attracted to you. So one of the big things you got to do in order to be successful at that is to give up hope. You got to give up hope of the relationship, but there's a balance. Okay, so here, let's try and get this question answered quickly and to the point. It's got to be balanced, man. So you try to communicate. You make sure that the important things that you have to say have been said. That's why so many people, they go into the begging, and you don't ever want to do that, but some people go to that level. They're trying to like do as much as they can possible. I don't think that you have to go that far, obviously, but making it clear, like I was actually coaching someone at the moment, and we've been in this position together, and my advice, and we've been doing this and we've applied it, has been to like make it very clear to his ex what he wants and what he's able to give, and that's very important. So, I mean, in every scenario, situations can be different things, but for him, it's about, it was about making clear what he wants out of the relationship and what she wants. Okay, but sometimes if you're in a breakup, it's going to be kind of like at the end. But one person's like, no, I've had enough, and then there's going to be one person left who's going to be trying and pushing and saying no, and you're thinking of everything you can do to not lose this person. But never forget that one of the most powerful things you can do is nothing, is to focus on yourself, to get on with yourself, to allow there to be some space and some time. And, space and time can help both people. So I would say try to get a gauge of the balance, of not pushing too hard, because sometimes when you push, you can push someone away, but also not holding on, and also being able to let go. So it's a game of push and pull, and finding, like, getting a sense of, I always like to use the example of cats. If you go too much towards a cat, or the way that cats behave, like, they're never going to be like a dog, where they're going to come over and just be chasing you, and they're laying all their feelings out on the table. Cats will kind of like move away and then get you to kind of follow them. They'll walk past you, but they want your attention. They want to be cuddled, but they'll kind of like sit out of your reach, so that you have to kind of go towards them. So using that knowledge is really helpful. And I would say if you have communicated everything that you need to, remember, at the end of the day, like, there's this whole thing about closure. You're never going to have like 100%. I mean, some people might, but it's up to you whether or not closure exists and happens. It's totally up to you. So the reason I say that is because you'll never be able to get everything you want out. Yeah, you'll deliver your best speech, you'll write your best letter, but then it still won't be enough, because sometimes that person has decided and it's too late for them. But remember, it's just too late at the time. So if you allow some space, give some time, give some space, and then be strong, focus on yourself, and then allow. So the way that I'm going to wrap this video up. The way that I would recommend doing this is that if they have said no and it's over and it's enough, I guess you can try a little bit more. And if the no is adamant and it's like, no, definitely, it's over and this and that, I would, again, this depends on situations, and if you want more specific help, email me privately. We can kind of talk about this, but I think you got to sort of know when that person's really done and needs you to stop. And they will make it clear usually. Okay, they'll kind of say, look, no, stop. Yeah, stop emailing me about this. I want to just be friends, or I don't want to talk about relationships anymore. It's done. So when they make it clear like that, that's when you've got to just kind of bite the bullet and give them space and let them be the ones that are going to come to you. So focusing on yourself, no contact, and powering yourself up. Because when you're chasing, remember, when you're pushing and when you're chasing and when you're begging and you're asking and you're wanting and you're needing, you're giving your power to them. So you're powering them up and you're draining yourself. You're making yourself less attractive, weaker, and they're more in a position of strength. So, there's a lot that to be aware of with this. And I want to end this video. I hope this was helpful. I'm not sure if I answered it in the best way possible, but it's kind of late here, and I've had really hard training today. So I'm kind of tired, but just letting it flow as always. And one thing I want to end this video with is that once you're in the position of kind of it's over and you're now going to try to heal and move on and use no contact to heal, which is what no contact is for, it's really important to let go of the hope, because the hope is always going to keep you thinking of them, keep you waiting, keep you tied to them, and just it'll just keep you like lingering. So for me, for example, with my previous relationship, when I was kind of going through my healing and letting go, that was one of the hardest things, was to let go of hope. But I knew that I had to, because without letting go of the hope, I was just kind of like stuck in no man's land, not moving forward, just lingering in this, state of just not knowing what's going to happen and waiting. And, you kind of can wind up wasting your life or your time that way. So it is important to take that leap, let go of the hope, because once you do, yes, it's kind of like you're taking a jump, a leap of faith. But once you do let go of it, it's going to help you progress, become more attractive by becoming more powerful, by focusing on your life, your goals, your journey every day, more and more about you, and less about them. And as I said, like, it's just, you'll see thousands of stories, and it happened to me as well, that a huge side effect of doing that, focusing on yourself, letting go of the hope, moving on, if you can have that strength and courage and guts to do that, one of the huge side effects is that you're going to become a lot more attractive. Okay? And it's not magic, it's science, because look, if you are holding on to hope, every time it's her birthday, or if like his birthday, or if your ex is sick, or that there's a family, who's member who's sick. And I've, coached people in these situations, or if someone in their family passes away, if it's a birthday, sickness, death, whatever, you're going to be like, should I email? Should I email him or her for her birthday to say happy birthday? It should always be no. It should always be focused on yourself. Okay, you're going through one of the most difficult things that a human can go through in a breakup. So you've got to heal. You've got to like protect yourself, heal up, and then after 6 months, a year, then you can start to, if you still want, work on creating a friendship, relationship, or something. Okay, but letting go of hope is so important if you want to be able to move on. Okay. Or at least working on letting go of more and more hope. Don't have to completely throw it all out if it's too difficult, but less and less. For me, what helped was using my logic. Like, of course, my emotions in my heart, in my mind, I was in love and I was attached to this person. So all of my emotions and my instincts, and you've got that addiction, like I talk about in my videos, when we grow roots into another person because we've spent so much time. So this is like a few days, a few weeks, a few months, a year, and the more and more time you spend with that person, this happens. And then when a breakup happens, you tear your roots. And then they gotta slowly start, they will grow again. You just gotta allow them and they'll grow out again. But you've got that, I had the emotional connection, so it was so hard, but logically, mentally, I had assessed and, found, or come to the realization, awareness that it's just not meant to be. It's not going to work out. So logically, I had realized this. Emotionally, it was still hard, but I just took the steps. You let your mind, go forward, and then you've got to let your heart follow. So it's so far the only thing that I have found in life that kind of works backwards, because hope is one of the most powerful, awesome things that we can use in life to energize us, to fuel us, to keep us motivated. And hope is so powerful and so awesome, except for when you're in a breakup. It's the only time I've ever found in life where you've got to let go of hope. And embrace more of your mind. Like, think more logically, because when you are in a breakup, you are very emotional. You're not really thinking rationally. You're kind of like a drug addict who someone's just come in and just taken all of their heroin. So they're just like, they'll say anything, they'll do anything to get their heroin back. They're not thinking logically, or maybe they are, but their emotions are too powerful. And that's why we do no contact as well, because no contact allows you time to cool off, to heal, to think more logically, to allow the balance of mind and heart to be reestablished. Because during a difficult breakup, it's all emotion, it's all heart. And you're like, no, I love you, you're the one for me, don't go, don't leave me, I'll do anything. And how many times have you heard, I'll die for you? And people will like even say like, if I can't have you, I don't want to live. And this is not rational thinking, okay? So it sounds great in movies and in books and in romantic novels and in romance movies, and it's great material for that kind of stuff, for art and music. But in reality, you know, and in the modern day we live in today, we need that balance of logical thinking, rational thinking, and emotion and heart. So, you know, never let go of the passion and the energy and the love you have within you. But, you know, when you're in a breakup, you got to understand you're in this storm and you're just not thinking right. You're not thinking straight. So you need the time and the space. And no context is awesome because it provides that. And it will allow you to also energize, power yourself up, become more attractive, give whoever you're in a relationship with and are going through a breakup with, give them some space to kind of feel what it's like without you in their life. Let them kind of come make the next moves, okay? So a relationship from the beginning, from the start, until even through the breakup, is all about this dance of like, don't push too much and don't withdraw too much. It's this dance of push and pull. And even in the breakup stages, it's critical. You don't push too hard, you give some space. Alright, so I think those are the main points that I wanted to just get out there and talk about. If you have more questions, let me know and I'll, you know, address them in the comments below. But yeah, so if you get a clear no or a clear hey, it's over, leave me alone kind of thing, that's when you want to bite the bullet, man up or woman up, and be strong, and then focus on you and start the no contact, okay? But, you know, obviously do everything you can to, like, you know, so that you don't feel like, you know, you don't want to start no contact and then 2 weeks into it be like, well, I didn't really make an effort, you know, I didn't. So make the effort, write the letter, you know, give your case, but then just move on if it's still a no after that. All right, I hope that helps. Adios for now, and yeah, if it helps, let me know. And if it doesn't, let me know as well. All right, now it's dark back there, so time to go grab something to eat or have a quick nap first, maybe. Adios for now.